Well everybody, my favorite Apple app, the Apple Wallet application, continues to improve with some awesome quality of life features, and Apple just added a brand new feature for American Express users. But before you click off, if you are not an American Express user, this still is relevant to you because we're going to go over exactly what happened, how to actually use this new feature in the Apple Wallet app, but then also give you some alternatives in this credit card miles and points world to help you redeem stuff for Apple products in general and maximize those points. So without further ado, let's break it all down. Well everyone, let's get right into this, but before we do get started, if you enjoy content like this where we go over all things Apple, help us get to 1 million subscribers by subscribing down below. But very simply put here in terms of what's happening is that American Express and Apple have partnered up together to be able to use your American Express membership reward points via Apple Pay, whether it is at the Apple Store or at any other third-party merchant, as long as they take Apple Pay. I'm going to use Apple as an example here, so if we go into the Apple Store, and let's go in here and maybe add something like an Apple Watch if we want to. So let's just go with a regular one. That's fine, all the watch faces. Let's just add this to the back. Then if we go over here and add this to the bag, go to our bag, and if we go through the Apple Pay checkout, again, this is gonna work with anything that takes Apple Pay, but I'm just using this as an example to show it off exactly how it works. We'll press here, buy with Apple Pay, and then of course you get this whole UI. We'll continue with Apple Pay here, and this is the new UI that we're getting with iOS 27. Now, for those people that are curious, this American Express partnership does not require iOS 27. You just won't get this UI or this look. You'll get the normal iOS 26 look, but it's actually very simple to use. Just make sure you're selecting your American Express card. So if we go over here to find it, there's the American Express card. You can see here that you can either pay the $4.25 or you can tap in here and get some more options. It'll take a second to load up. Of course, it's going to know exactly how many American Express points you have. Here it says that I have 10,300 American Express points, and it shows you the dollar value of those points. Now, for those of you curious, if you are in the miles and points game, normally with American Express points, you get 0.6 cents per point when you redeem it for a transaction through the portal, redeem it for quote unquote cash. But here you get a little bit more value, giving you 0.7 cents per point. So 10,000 points is essentially $70. 100,000 points is $700, so on and so forth. And then of course you get more value if you do redeem it for travel. You get at least 1 cent per point if you redeem it in their portal, and you can get even more so, which I've already showed off countless examples. So personally, I would not use my membership reward points for this situation because it's not the best way to maximize the value, but it is an option. But all you do here is you tap on use rewards, then it'll take in all those points. Now what's good about this is that you can use partial points and partial cash, so you don't need to take the entire purchase via American Express points. So here you can see I'm using my 10,000 points. It's going to take off $72. So 425 minus 72 is now 353. We're going to apply the rewards, and then you go through that entire process. I'm not going to do that now because I don't want to purchase this Apple Watch, but that's exactly how it works. Very simple, and it works with any American Express card that has American Express points tied to it. So as you guys saw, I had a gold card in there as well as my platinum card. And of course you can combine those and do whatever you see fit, but now that is part of the Apple Pay checkout process. Now, to give you guys an example of what this could eventually entail, right? I went into Safari here and I went into American Express. If you apply for the Platinum card, you get up to 175,000 points as a welcome offer. Of course, there's some caveats here. I think you have to spend $12,000 in a 6-month span in order to get those 175,000 points. So if we go in here, go into our calculator, you can actually get free Apple products with this welcome offer. So 175,000 points times 0.007 means you get $1,225 to use via Apple Pay. So you can use this to purchase an Apple laptop. You can use this to purchase anything via Apple Pay, whether it's on like eBay or Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever the case may be. You have $1,225 you can spend via Apple Pay. And then like I said, this isn't the best way to use those points. That 175,000 points can get you like 2 business class flights to Europe and back if you really know how to spend those points. But that's neither here nor there. And then one more thing to take into consideration, coming from somebody who's very heavily in the miles and points game, you can actually go and get a Chase card. Chase actually offers a 1-to-1 when it comes to using your Chase points for Apple products, and Chase even has a portal inside of their ecosystem that is the Apple Store. So for example, if you have 100,000 Chase points, that's equivalent to $1,000 worth of Apple products versus 100,000 American Express points is only $700. So again, you earn them the same way. There's just different carriers, different providers, and different credit cards. And depending on how you want to use it, I personally believe if you want to go towards Apple products specifically, get a Chase card, because right now I think Chase is offering 100,000 points as a welcome offer for their Chase Sapphire Preferred, which is also only $95 a year, versus the American Express is like $900 a year. So I just wanted to give you guys a rundown of exactly what this is, how it works, and ultimately what my recommendation is when it comes to credit cards, miles, and points. And then the last thing I want to mention here is that CardPointers is a great app if you are in the miles and points game, because it lets you look into all the credit cards you have and lets you maximize every single dollar you spend to make sure you're getting max value out of every transaction. So to let you know which one's best for groceries, which one's best for, retail services, which one's best for Apple products based on what you have in the Apple CardPointers application. But let's finish up the video. Well, as you guys saw, this is a very simple implementation of using American Express points directly through Apple Pay if you are an American Express user. But as I mentioned in the video, at 0.7 cents per point, while it's a little bit better than redeeming those points for cash value inside of American Express, you can still get much more value by redeeming them for travel and hotel stays and things of that nature. But if you want to use it, this is a very frictionless way of using your American Express points to purchase anything via Apple Pay. So let me know in the comment down below what you think. I'm going to link down below those Chase cards as well as those American Express cards for you guys to check out if you are interested. If you do just want to use your points for Apple purchases, I would definitely just go to the Chase route because you get a 1-for-1 in terms of point value versus much less, 0.7 cents per point like I mentioned with American Express. But let me know in the comment down below what you think. Are you going to be using these? Are you going to use it for Apple Pay purchases, for Apple purchases in general? Do you have a lot of American Express points? And maybe leave a comment down below of what your favorite overall point redemption has been over the last few years. I just purchased business class tickets to Paris using nothing but points, costing less than $100 for that flight, which is absolutely insane. Just goes to show you the power of how to correctly use your American Express points. But until next time, if you guys do want to watch more videos like this one, check out one of these videos right here. Leave a little dolphin. Peace, everyone.